I don't think you were born there, Ma. I think that's because I was looking at your birth certificate. I got it up there. I got it up in the important paper box. It's just 71 years old, so it's fragile and stuff like that. But it has both your parents, Robert Stinson Yoakum and Margaret Kelly, or Irene Yoakum. Ellen Kelly. Yep. And I don't think you were born in El Paso, Texas. I think that's where, because you weren't adopted until you were 3. Because I remember you telling these stories when I was real young, and you talk about how you remember the statues of the lions in front of the you said it was in front of the hospital, but it was in front of the orphanage. That's what they did, is they took kids away from their families because their families couldn't afford the medical care, and you were born with club feet. So they said they couldn't take care of them, so they took them and then put you in the orphanage to feed and perpetuate that system. And they still do it today. CPS, it's all a racket. It's all human trafficking. It's just done on a federal level. And so they tell us that they do it for our own good. I mean, you talk to any kid that's been in any kind of in the foster system, man, they don't have more advantages. It sucks. It sucks. So yeah, so you were 3 years old when you were adopted. Yeah, so and you remember and so every time I know those statues, they're all over the place, those statues with the horse, or not the horse, but the lions, But that's if there's people that want to control people, they're gonna do it in all the ways that they can. They just it's about control. So you give people an inch, they're gonna take all of it. They're gonna leave nothing for you, and that's how egos that run riot, self-wills that run riot, they don't have no measure of saying what I'm doing is gonna cause another human being harm. They don't have it. As I was telling my buddy Augustine the other day, I said we all got the devil and the angel on our shoulder. This is, don't do that. It's harmful, right? I know every accident that's ever happened, somebody's heard that in voice, like, don't, something's said, and people go override and do it, and then there's the consequence, right? Of not listening to that inner voice of not causing harm and being decent to other human beings and stuff. People listen to that, do it, just do whatever, chasing money, property, prestige, all that greedy stuff that comes from the world being run by a bunch of freaking egocentric, demon riddled beings. They're not even human anymore. It's the world's freaking getting crazy. Anyway, what are you gonna do? Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like having these little talks in the way I feel about things. I was just telling Mom I'm really ready to cut it off. But the thing about cutting it off is, like, people around here, I've seen a couple, it's like the barbers, they charge $20. I'm like, what, no veteran discount? Since everybody loves your veterans around here. I guess it's just male veterans, I don't know. Anyway, it's all bros club. So trying to find a place to do it and where I'm not going to spend $20, because I was spoiled with Calvin in Oregon. He was rad. We had good conversations. We were like-minded in a lot of ways, even though, and he came up in the foster system, but he was one of the ones that bettered his life. Came from, said don't want to end up like that. took care of his body, worked out, cared. Yeah. He's I'm sure he's doing good in Oregon with his shop but he charged me, it was like $12, for a haircut, which that's cool, because I go every 9 days or so. So I don't want to give somebody else that much money for something that if I could see back here, I could do it myself, but I can't. Nah, I get all backwards in my head and stuff. So anyway, today's been a pretty good day. It's been a lazy day, man. I got no juice. I'm so tired. I know Aries season is it's like this for me every year. It's, and I get real, the weather's weird. Like this morning, I went out. It was supposed to snow. I woke up, there's no snow on the ground. Whoopee! No new mud. And I went out to the market early because around here, if there's stuff you want, you got a better chance of finding it earlier in the day. And as the day goes on, you got more of a chance of not finding what you're looking for. So, anyway, stopped by Wally World quick and went to the market. Got a couple things. Forgot to call it things. Wally World's up the road. Walmart. I call it Wally World. It's just a trip. Yeah. Freaking old guy was checking women's receipts. People's receipts at the door on their way out. I said, you don't gotta do that, ladies. You aren't fucking paying Costco prices. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You guys don't get to do that because questioning people's integrity just tells you what kind of people lack integrity that fucking work there, man. That somebody did that to me before. It's the old guy, the guy that still has to control things. It's his fucking heart space that is why the freaking whole timber, the nation is falling, civilization, America's done. It's gonna be something else here before too long. It's on its way out, man. It is. It got too greedy. Corp USA sold its soul. It's on its way out. It's what happens, man. The evolution of what greed does, man. People don't win. You don't become closer to God. You don't get all these spiritual gifts from being a greedy, slimy scumbag. You're opportunistic scumbag. It doesn't happen, and too many people have got their chance. Their 15 minutes, their freaking Bitcoin, whatever, their success, and what they haven't done is what every freaking religion on the planet has said, except for the whole Satanists, all those shit that just want people to live as they're living with their self-will running amok. But the rest of them that believe in a power outside themselves, not that they are the power. They are, tell people, like the Bible has the 10 Commandments. I don't know a whole lot about other religions, but these other, it's just like basic, you don't be a D-bag. You don't sleep around a lot, you don't saturate your life force energy with other people. It's a sacred thing, and people don't look at their bodies as their temple. It's all about the fucking chuck and hitting it and quitting it and chasing sensations, and it's freaking dumb. It's so dumb. And I'm such I've always been the old-fashioned one, and so old-fashioned. I always like the dating part, the courting part, the getting to know, There, I look around, there aren't even really hardly, where I live, there are people worth getting to know, sitting down and freaking just having like, even I'm just talking on a friendly basis. I'm not even talking in like a freaking romantical kind of way. So it's funny. when I was leaving Walmart, because this lady's like, my mom's coming. She's had the receipt. I'm like, you don't got to answer to this guy. I'm like, get up. And so, and Aries is coming. I'm Aries. I always get all kinds of fired up. So I'm walking on this kid, this younger man is walking out with me, and I'm like, man, that shit, I'm sick of this shit, people putting up with this shit. We don't pay Costco prices. We aren't getting bargains like it. He thinks he works at Costco checking your receipt, making sure you didn't, And I said, I said, they make more money when people steal from them. It's called shrink. It's bogus bullshit. It's just more bullshit about how rich people get richer. It's so freaking, which is another. Anyway, so the kid's like, yeah. I said, man, I don't know when people in this country turned into be such freaking obedient freaking wusses. Just tell them, dude, sit. You go up to a stranger in a grocery store, just sit. I bet they'd sit right there in the freaking aisle. Just because they're so used to it. Okay. Not even questioning anything. People are just programmable. They are just remote control. AI already lives because they're already guided and their consciousness derives and is directed and modified by what they see in the media, and it directs who they talk to. It's a trip, man. It's all, everything out there is artificial. The only thing that is real is what is tangible in your proximity. People live so much for all the stuff out there. It is whoa. So when I was leaving the market today, I met a young man named David. He was standing there, had a sign, said anything helps. And he looked young. He even had brace brackets on. He didn't have the wires, but he had the brackets on. So when I see travelers, I'll, what's your story? Because I'm like, you're young. Because you're younger than and he's like, I said, did your parents kick you out? He said, well, kinda. And he was like he had facial hair, but he wasn't shaving yet, kind of thing. And I said, how old are you? He's like, I'm 15. And I was like, fuck, and because I know where I was when I was 15, and I was never holding a sign. And he had a pair of cowboy boots on, oversized jeans and a jacket, and it just like a t-shirt on. I don't think even a sweatshirt. Did he have a sweat? But he had his hood on. But anyway, it wasn't, and because it was cold here today, and it was trying to snow this morning, and this was in the midst. I said, come with me to the van, because I went and got this stuff for this woman that I ran to the other day, but by the time I went to find her again, she was gone. So I had this stuff for her. So it wasn't supposed to be for her, it was for David. So I gave him these gloves and a hat. And it's just his face just lit up because it still has the tags and stuff on it, so he knows that this is just for this is for him. That it's not just secondhand bullshit garbage that people don't want, right? That's right. That and I gave him 2 pairs of socks, and I said, listen, if you get anything from our conversation today, is take with you your whole life the importance of taking care of your feet. Yeah. Make sure that your feet are dry. They don't get cracked. It's important that you take care of your feet because they are what carry you. Uh-huh. And he was like, okay. I said, and because I'm a pastor, Pastor Marge. They call me sister at the coffee shop sometimes because it's more like a, hey, sister. Yeah. And so that's just more of a term of endearment, not anything really related to the Pastor Marge thing. And so I'm always counseling. I'm always, because I've had a lot of life experience. I want to share with these kids, and this is how you get a hold of them. I said, and you stay away from those dirty old men. I said, you don't don't start that. Don't go down that road. And he's like, I won't. I said, there's a lot of, there's a lot of freaking nasty people out there. He's like, I know, I just met one. The guy was a total jerk. And he felt safe with me. So, I mean, he almost broke down. Like, he was almost in tears. I said, I just know that as hard as it gets out there, that you will always be guided and directed to those that are of good heart. If you always maintain goodness in your heart. Because like attracts like, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So you don't got goodness in your heart. And you hang out with people that are always talking about the evil stuff in the world. And always talking about this and all the stuff they want to buy and do this and the places they want to go so they can take a picture and look just like the other, pretentious D-bags that have done the same thing on Instagram and all these social medias and stuff like that really never do anything original because they just keep flying around in, first class, private jets, whatever, playing. People just play too much without doing the work, and that's an imbalance, and that imbalance is going to swing back around. People are going to get their chance to do all the work that they never had to do in life. So I kind of see how things are kind of going. So I got to sit there and talk to the gave him a couple pairs of socks. I said, just know that there's still people out there that care about people, and we don't even not got to know ya. See, I was that weird kid to this program. I grew up. That's how they know who the kind of, who the bleedy, the good, the softies like me are. We grew up watching shows like, I remember they did an episode in Morro Bay when we lived there. And I wanted to go down and see how them do it, but we didn't. It was Highway to Heaven, Michael Landon. Yeah. Yeah. So, you just got to help take care of people. Because not everybody. Because I remember being young and freaking poor and dumb and just like, oh my God, is this how life is always going to be? And I think about all the places I've been since then. And, I got a different perspective of what the world is now. So, people got to do a better job. Stop giving so much freaking money to false for profits for tax write-offs and shit like that. Benefit themselves in an unreal, unnatural way, and start taking care of freaking people that need it more. And people have the attitude that they're just a bunch of druggies and stuff like that. That ain't none of your business, is it? I mean, I think about, I know how many people, even I went to AA meetings with for years and years and years, just freaking always popping pills, just zoned out, but that's all right because it was prescribed by a doctor. Just the double standards and hypocrisy and all that. So, whatever. What else was I going to talk about? I don't make notes. I was meditating and I a couple of thoughts crossed my mind. I'm like, oh, I could talk about that. And I didn't write it down. And when's it? Oh, it's 17/7/17, Ma. It's March 17 and it's 7:17 p.m. 17 7 17 17 7 17. You got it.
All right.
Yeah. You just had to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It just 17 7 17. It's a 7 sandwich of 17 and a loaf of 17s. See, I think that's one of the reasons why I appreciate word whimsy so much, is it because it activates different parts of your mind. Mom had if people are watching and don't know, Mom had a stroke. She was 38. She's 71. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Whoop whoop. She'll be 72 in November, and we keep her active, but she doesn't go out much. So when that's how she lives through me and my experiences. And so she's lived a nice, long, full life. Because ever since, and then we started, you've been with me, living with me since 2007, 2008, long time we've been together under the same, states. Yeah, it's like 15 years, long time. So we'll be each other's parting gift.
One of my favorite things about you is your laugh.
Yeah?
I love your laugh.
Aw, thanks, Ma.
You have a good spirit.
Yeah, I haven't lost it yet. Gotten too mad about stuff. People do that. They get consumed by anger. But I'm on the upswing because, Mom, I feel better. The Dr. Jennifer, said I could just cook because that's just weird, Dr. Jennifer.
What is that?
Oh, you know what I found out, Ma? You could be a chiropractor in 3 years.
Really?
She was explaining it to me. She's like, yeah, you don't even have to finish your undergrad because they don't have you do all the undergrad biology courses. Because why would they have and then do them again in the accelerated? They have accelerated programs too, of course. So they do those again. They do that. She's like, because God, I don't like this song right now. Why would you? I'm losing my train of thought. It's derailing. Oh, she's like, okay, so you don't have to take the undergrad biology. You take them in the accelerated because then they kind of look at it as like, because then you're taking the same classes twice. That's stupid. So anyway, so yeah, you could be a chiropractor in 3 years. I'm like, they're the only doctor I could ever, and she does acupuncture too.
Who does?
The chiropractor I go to, but our time together is almost done because she's moving to
Where's she moving to?
Denver. She's starting to practice up in Denver.
Colorado?
Yeah. That's kind of a ways to go for a chiropractor appointment, so I'll just bid her farewell. And I can go see Dr. Doug, her dad.
Doctor who?
Her dad, Dr. Doug.
Her dad, Dr. Doug.
Dr. Doug is her dad, and then her dad's brother has a practice there. It's all family stuff. I'm like, I told her, I'm like, I get why you're leaving. She laughs. She just laughs. People can't ever. They're always like I don't know. I guess. I don't know. See, we've just lived such a colorful life, Ma. There's so many people things that people don't say.
They don't say?
Yeah, they just keep their mouths shut about a lot of stuff. They're like, you've always been quiet and reserved. I didn't know how old you were until, shoot, I think we got into your purse and looked at your driver's license, but you would never tell us.
How old I was?
You would not, Mom, how old are you? Oh, okay, well, how old were you? Well, when was you wouldn't even tell us the year you were born. But sometimes you didn't even want to be known as Mom. You would say, I'm not going by that name today. There's nobody here by that name. That's what you would say. Mom, there's nobody here by that name. Mom. You just didn't want to do it. Just wasn't willing. Just, Now people, they just chuck out. You were just stuck with this. You didn't really have a choice, I don't think. Now people, they don't want to be. Now in here in New Mexico, if you don't want your kid, they got boxes. You just go put your kid in a box. This is the clever endeavor, man. This is the freaking
clever endeavor. That's cool.
The ideas that the frickin' politicians come up with in this, turnover is coming up here pretty quick. Like, they're looking for new leadership and stuff like that. And I would be glad to put my frickin' name in the hat for some viable ideas, because I am tired of bad ones, and my resume is pretty good. So,
that's good, Marge.
and I don't even need a position. Just listen to some of the things that I have to say, because my ideas are better than a lot of the shit that's happening right now. And I've it's am I right? I've taken on caregiver and stuff too, I have the inside knowledge of what our elders need in the world, and what people aren't getting. And there's too many people on the road, freaking old people that should not have licenses. Man, there's people all over. I'm like, man, these people should not be driving. They should not. But they don't have the services that would help these people do what they needed to do. So they're too lazy to freaking, take care of the elders. So they just let them have their license, and it's very dangerous for them and others. And it's just like, what? Because who they're related to, or some nepotism bullshit, they're allowed to be at risk, put other people at risk. And all this buddy system, I don't care. I don't care who people are. I don't care what people's job titles are. I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about how they treat other people. And right now, it's a club right now, and they're not treating other people very good. So all these astrologers and all these practitioners and all these people that are having fucking Sedona, man. Fuck you, Sedona, and fucking your practitioners and Sedona and your conferences and your... It's over there in Arizona. And it's where freaking the pretentious go, because they have nothing better to do and freaking fly, or just go down there and freaking be amongst the energy and freaking sit with some crystals in your pocket and stuff like that, And when's the last time you put a freaking $100 in a homeless kid's hand? Never, because people don't do that. You just fucking send them love and light, Fucking people can't live on love and light. People can't fucking warm their house with love and light. And this is the shit that's fucking needs to change. And it's gonna change, whether people do it voluntarily or not. And if it doesn't happen in this lifetime, it'll happen in the next lifetime.